Hey guys, so today is my question, or like my idea. I texted my dad today in class and was like, I got a question, bring the camera. Usually like this happens naturally, like we'll just be in the car and I'll ask him a question and we'll talk about it like on the way home because we're always in the car together. So today's question is...
I'm nervous.
It's not bad. Okay, so the question is, how do you navigate being in a group of people who share the same dreams as you without experiencing imposter syndrome or feeling like you're copying them? That's a long question.
Okay.
So basically, like, you're a musician, you're friends with other musicians. How do you work alongside them without feeling like y'all are copying each other, or like it's like you're not good enough, I guess?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it comes down to spending time alone. You know, I think, and the older you get, you'll do this naturally. But as a young person, it's hard to withdraw from everybody and really identify your strengths and weaknesses that you can't see when you're in the crowd. Mm-hmm. Like, I think you can get a glimpse of them, but you can't really deal with them until you pull away. You know what I'm saying? And so I think pulling away creates space and opportunity to analyze authentically who you are, what you possess, and all that, without people talking you out of it. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes you can see it and be like, man, I'm not strong in this area, and somebody will encourage you, like, no, you good. Mm-hmm. But that ain't what you need. Mm-hmm. You need honesty. Mm-hmm. And I think as people, we can be the most honest with ourselves, sometimes mm-hmm. brutally honest with ourselves. So you have to balance it, but in the ideal sense, in the ideal world, you can spend time alone, see your weaknesses, but also your strengths, and know that once you identify them, regardless of the environment, they don't change. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can work toward them, but I think the foundation of it doesn't change. So you can be in Austin and it'd be true. You can be in Houston and it'd be true. You can be in Chicago and it'd still be true. And so once you have that truth of who you essentially are, you bring that into the friendships or the hangouts that you frequent, whether it be musicians, singers, or whatever, knowing what you bring to the table. And realizing that even though people may be better in other areas, it doesn't discredit what you possess. Mm-hmm. You have to go in every circle knowing that you can make a contribution.
Mm-hmm. And that's my thing though, because like when I was doing nails, obviously other people were making press-ons or whatever, and people will always be like, oh, you have to find out what makes your nails special. Mm-hmm. What if I don't have that thing that makes my like thing special?
But you do, that's what I'm saying. But you have to withdraw to really get in touch with it. Mm-hmm. And by withdraw, I mean like move away from everything, all the noise. Mm-hmm. Silence all the noise, all the praise, all the accolades. Mm-hmm. You gotta silence all of it, the criticism and the praise. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like really see the gift that you are. Mm-hmm. What's special, what's unique about you that nobody else can do. Because everybody has something that can't nobody, as many people as there are in the world. Mm-hmm. I forget how many people.
It's 8 billion now, I think, around.
Out of all the billions of people, mm-hmm. everybody has something unique mm-hmm. that nobody else has. Mm-hmm. That's amazing to think about.
Yeah, it's hard to think about.
It's hard to think about.
I can't even picture $1 billion, let alone 1 billion people.
1 billion people with all, I mean, of course there's similarities, but mm-hmm. each one of them has something that's unique to them and them alone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? There's something that God didn't reproduce wholesale or generically mm-hmm. in everybody. Sure. When you look at the fingerprint, that's just one example, mm-hmm. you know? And so you have to find that thing, you know mm-hmm. what I'm saying? Like, what makes me a gift to people? Mm-hmm. And that way you don't have to compare and contrast. You go into the situation or the circle of friends or whoever knowing this is what I bring. Now, it might not be called, it might not be needed in this moment, but this is what I have, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's meaningful. And what they have is theirs. And I think once everybody comes to grips with what they uniquely possess and bring to the table, it's not a competition thing, but like a sharpening thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I may not can do what you can do, but seeing you do what you do makes me want to be better at what I do.
True.
And so there's this back and forth of challenging each other and growing each other, sharpening each other.
It just makes it feel so tense. I guess at my age, it just kind of feels like trying to one up, like, or just trying to, like, I don't know. I guess it's just hard because I'm younger.
But that ain't a young thing. 'Cause even old people feel that. You know, they get intimidated too because they hadn't done the work. So it's not like an age thing. It's a time thing. You know, have you spent time alone? Have you spent time learning who you are? And some people 30, 40, 50 years old hadn't done that. And so they go into a situation intimidated and feeling like they ain't enough and comparing what they got to other people and leaving a beautiful environment feeling depressed because they feel like people are so much further along than they are.
Sure. And then the time they spend thinking about how much further along everybody else is how much should be using to like be with everybody else, I guess, like work, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Can you identify something that's unique to you that your friends don't have?
I guess confidence. I guess you and Mom consistently are like cheering me on. So like I guess I have like both sides. Like people, like y'all are always like, oh, you can do this, you can do this. I have like most people don't have that like foundation.
Yeah.
So I get it allows me to know who I am, and when someone's like trying to tell me that's not who I am, I'm like, yes it is. Like I know, because like every single day are like assuring me. I guess. And
experience.
True.
Like at your age, you've done a whole lot of stuff that people hadn't done, so that's unique to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you've done things that you can build upon right now. And let me specifically singing in front of people. You know, crowds of people, not just like 2 or 3 people. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so you can build upon that, whereas somebody else who may be gifted, they don't have the experience. So when they get in front of people, they clam up. You can't even tell how good they are because they nervous. You know, they can't control their nerves. So that's another thing that's unique to you. You know, you've been doing that since 12, 11. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you gotta put that clip of that that GPS.
So yeah, stuff like that, and even like the way that you are empath. What you care for people, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff that people are going through or feeling, like you take that personal, you take it home with you. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's not like that. So that's unique. You know, so that's what I'm saying, like you gotta figure out what's unique to you and begin to exploit those things. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not gonna change. So whether you're with people or not, like it's just you, it's foundational.
So, you have friends that are similar to you, right? That are into the same things. So, what do you do when they come to you like with like an idea they had, and it's something that you have already like been thinking of and like already been planning and like thoroughly like, you know, designing it or whatever? Like, how do you not make that awkward, like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about that too, or like, oh yeah, I was thinking that I was gonna do that. Like, how because like it's so embarrassing, because I'm just like, I don't know. So yeah,
I think you just have to,
like, you just not say nothing, like, oh yeah, it's a good idea, but then when you come out with it because you've been planning it, it's kind of like
they think you
it happens to me too much. And it's like my third question was like, should you rush to try to get ahead, or do you just like keep working and like keep I guess like fleshing out like the idea or whatever, like, or do you like just keep the same pace, I guess?
Shedrach Rowry creative content.
That's some good questions. I think ideally you would encourage the person, like, man, it's a great idea. And okay, so start with that, but also like tell them, because you don't want them to think you stole it from them when you release what you're gonna release. So it would sound like, that's a great idea. I thought of something similar too, and I actually been working on something, but you know, and you can go as far as you want to go with it.
Sure, because like you also don't want to like give the sauce away, like.
Right. And you don't want them to feel like you're not happy for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a dance. So, you know, that's affirm the idea, but then like throw a little bit in there, like, yeah, I'm working on something similar. I can't say too much about it, but and just, you know, maybe explore some of the similarities. Like, you know, as far as like whether to rush or not, I would say no. Like, just make it good.
Yeah.
If you can rush it and be good, then do it. But if it's not gonna be good, take your time.
'Cause I've been needing time. And then when like whenever I see someone that has the same idea as me, like just on social media with like my crochet stuff, I'm always just like, oh, now I gotta hurry up. Like I feel like I have to like rush, but when I rush, I don't feel good about it. So I don't end up doing it. Then I just end up being set back even more.
Well, you got to be careful, because you don't want to rush, but you don't want to procrastinate either. So like, don't drag your feet and let them get that further and further ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, be consistent with whatever you're gonna do. Just be consistent. And some of those people, I've learned throughout the years, they don't follow through. So even if you're working at a slower pace, they gonna burn out by the time you release your thing, because they ain't no follow through. You know what I'm saying? They might have we talked about in church that one time, the seeds that fell on the good ground, and you know, all that kind of stuff, with the weeds and then the rocks, and they sprung up fast, but they didn't last long because the root wasn't deep. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what you see a lot when people creating stuff. It may be produced real fast, but it's a flop at night.
And they might have a little I don't know what's the word, like
season.
Yeah, they're really like, it's really good, but you know,
ain't no character, ain't no depth to it. So I think if you just be patient, consistently, you know, working at it, you'll have the wherewithal to have a long season, because the roots are deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just because it happens to me a lot, where like I said, I'll see on social media someone with the same idea, same age as me, like trying to do the same thing, and I'm like, no. Or like, friends will come to me like, oh, I was gonna do that, and I'm like, oh, I was gonna do that too. And so I don't know, I'm like, is it because I just don't have any individuality, or is it because like the devil trying to play with me, or like what? I don't know, but that's why.
So what you mean? Like, what you mean individuality?
Like, is it like I don't have my own sense of like my own ideas, I guess, like, are my ideas not mine? Like, are they too like broad and general? I guess
that's a good question to analyze, you know,
because like this can't keep happening, like it's annoying. So yeah. So
what would make them, do you think they're broad ideas?
No, I don't. That's why I be thinking they be good ideas, and then someone comes
in. It don't mean it's not good. Even if it's a broad idea, it can be good. You know, I mean, but is it unique enough? That's the question. Because, and it does happen sometimes, people still have good, unique ideas, just like yours, but I think the way to kind of curtail some of that is to drill down deeper into the idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just be content with the first idea. Like, dig a little deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because when I got to the class I texted you in, I was like, man, what am I gonna do? I was just like, what am I gonna do to make this more like, you know, I guess deeper or whatever. And I started to get more ideas. So I'm like, maybe it's like motivation or something. I don't know, but yeah. Well,
let's just take an idea right now, like, and we'll go deep with it. So let's say that's a Whataburger behind us. Well, no, is it? Yeah. Okay, so let's say we got an idea for burgers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's broad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now how do we drill down into that idea to
Well,
make it
first
unique?
of all, it's black owned.
Okay, that's unique. Give me some more. What if we used, instead of beef, we used emu? It's a bird. Emu.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get behind this.
But I'm saying, like, it's unique. So the more unique you can be, the less you have a chance of people having the same idea.
True.
You know, they might be thinking about burgers, but your burgers, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you gotta keep on digging deep. Let's say they're doing emu burgers too. Well, what else can we do?
Something with the fries, maybe.
Like,
They could be shapes, like animal shapes,
see?
bird shape, because it's a
Mm-hmm. That's it. And you just keep digging and digging and digging and digging and digging until you have something that you know. Ain't nobody thought of it. You know, ain't nobody thought
And
of
if
it.
they is, that's some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why are you in my brain? Like, what's going on?
So, alright. That's it?
Yeah, that was good.
Alright.
See, I did good. Yeah.
Alright, anything else you want to say?
That's it.
See y'all next time. That advice.
Yes, that advice in the car.
Uh-huh.